we're looking at measuring your waist circumference. There are two ways or two places we can measure it from, and that's partly depending on what your reasoning is for measuring. If you're comparing yourself to a model, then we use the model method, which measures at the thinnest part of the waist. So anywhere between the rib cage and the hip bone, the thinnest part you can find. If we're using it for medical reasons, like to compare our waist circumference for health checks, then we want to go from the top of the hip bones. What you're going to need is a tape measure, which I have right here, and somewhere where you feel comfortable with your shirt up, because the most accurate measures are skin on tape measure rather than with a shirt on. So here's how we're going to do it. The first one I'm going to go through is I'm going to measure using the model method. I'm going to expose my torso. I'm going to lengthen out my tape measure so it can fit all the way around me. And the mic cord I have playing here. And I'm going to look for roughly the thinnest part of my torso. And the other thing I'm going to do is check the mirror to make sure it's as horizontal as I can get it. And I have one over there so I can do that. So the method is feet together, standing up straight, inhale, exhale, and look at your measurement at the end of your exhale. And I've landed on 90.5 centimeters in the model method. So if I'm comparing myself for the use of aspirational goals, that's where I might measure. If I'm looking at for medical purposes, then I'm going to go from the top of the hip bone. So the anterior superior iliac crest, or if you don't know what that is, that bone that protrudes just at the top of your leg at the front of your torso. And it's the same system except at a different place. We want to wrap the whole tape measure around us. Start from one hip bone. Make sure it's horizontally across the other hip bone. Make sure the tape measure's flat all the way around. Make sure there's no pants or shirt underneath it. And then we're going to inhale, exhale. Take our measurement. And I've come in there at about 98 centimeters. So there you can see there's some differences. And that's something to consider in terms of when you retest. So if in 4 weeks' time you remeasure, you want to remeasure at the same place. And you want to make, as in, if you measure for medical, do medical again. If you measure for aspirational goals, do aspirational goals again. It's also something to consider when you see some of those measurements up online. But that's measuring waist circumference, guys. Get to it.